Memorial Day weekend with this shit. That's okay. New York, baby. New York City in this shit. New York, baby. Oh, look, Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z, Goku. Nice. Goku, New York. Goku, New York. Nice. This is amazing. Very nice. Right. Now they're doing this for the Memorial Day weekend. A lot of food, a lot of shirts and everything. They're doing this for the Memorial Day weekend in New York. And look, the ice cream truck over there too. Yeah. They're celebrating the Memorial Day weekend because tomorrow is Memorial Day, May 26th. So they're doing this shit to celebrate Memorial Day weekend in Manhattan, New York. Look, this is my #1 favorite during my kid years, the ice cream.
Go down here and make a left.
Central Park. I love New York, motherfuckers. I love New York in this bitch. It's amazing. Look, the city bus. City bus? City bus. Sunday, May 25th at the New York City Times Square. Sunday, May 25th. Justin's Manhattan Adventure Days on Memorial Day weekend. Sunday, May 25th. Sunday, May 25th. NBA store, people. Who's a big fan of basketball in New York, bitch? NBA, bitches. NBA. New York Knicks and New York whatever. Nah, you guys, seriously, I never experienced holding a Nintendo Power Glove. The last time I saw the Nintendo Power Glove is when I was watching the entire series of the Goldbergs. Adam was using the Nintendo Power Glove to play baseball with his dad. I gotta say, seeing the Nintendo Power Glove in person was a big success to my eyes, was a big opening in my eyes, because I never owned it before, but I saw a lot of videos and photos of the Nintendo Power Glove. Like I said, just testing the Nintendo features. And for the first time in my life, thanks to Ronaldi and Steve from YouTube to let me hold a Nintendo Power Glove, because I experienced it for the very first time by holding it and taking pics with it. Again, the last time I ever saw the Nintendo Power Glove was one of the clips from the Goldbergs. Here are the clips from the Goldbergs now.
No way.
Yes, Way. It was the Nintendo Power Glove. It was magical, and it was mine.
I can't take this. It's too much.
With my guidance, you are going to become the greatest player that the Nintendo universe has ever seen. With my help, there will be no Mario pipe unsearched, no space uninvaded, no donkey uncalmed. You idiot.
Not working!
You're swinging it. Stop swinging.
I'm batting? I thought I was pitching.
What are you doing? Just move like a normal human would.
What's wrong with my guy? Why is he squatting? He looks like he's sick.
He's just bunting. Stop bunting.
I can't stop bunting!
Just push the pause button.
Well, we're just...
Once again, you guys, today is Tuesday, May 27th. This is my final recording until I get back home to New Jersey, because I'm here for my Memorial Day weekend, you guys. Seriously, I'm here just for my Memorial Day weekend. Justin's Manhattan Memorial Day weekend. Stay tuned for more. I'm here, you guys. West Side 173rd. Where you grew up? Yeah, living at my grandmother's house where I grew up. West Side 173rd. I'm here because I'm going to record the house, and I'm also going to record the game store across the street. My last day of my Memorial Day weekend in Manhattan, New York, before I go back to my hometown tomorrow, downtown Fort Lee, New Jersey. I'm going to show you guys where I used to live while growing up. This is where I used to live, deadass. 572 West 173rd Street, apartment 25, second floor. Not anymore, where I grew up as a kid. As a kid and a teen, I used to live here. See? Deadass. And I'm gonna show you guys my brother's graffiti on the mail. I think the Superman graffiti is still there, I'm not sure. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm gonna show you guys my brother's graffiti on the mail wall. On the mail wall, deadass, from 25. I'm gonna show you guys my brother's old graffiti. You see this graffiti, A Money, that used to be my brother's graffiti. So yeah, look at this shit. It used to be my brother's graffiti. I'm just surprised this hasn't been painted or covered it. My brother left it there for respect. Respect to my brother. Respect to my brother for this shit. Respect. I'm just surprised they didn't paint the entire mailbox or made it brand new or some shit. Respect to my brother. Yo, bro, if you're watching this, I love you. A Money, my brother. That's his territory back then when we were kids growing up. I'm gonna show you the upstairs as well, where I used to live. I'm gonna show you guys. But I cannot go inside the apartment because I don't live there anymore. So yeah, where I used to live, right here, where I used to live, used to, not anymore. Growing up, right? Growing up with this shit. Growing up. Growing up. I used to live here growing up. Where I used to live, you guys, where I used to live. My childhood memories, and across the street, the game store. Across the street, the video game store. You can see the city. And across the street, the game store, which I'm heading over there next. Here it is, you guys, the game store, across the street from my grandmother's house. The game store, seriously. It's been there many, many years as while I was growing up, the video game store. So I'm gonna go across the street and see the game store right over there. I'm gonna go across the street now. The game store across the street from my grandmother's house. Man, childhood memories in this shit. Childhood memories, because I used to live here while growing up. So we're gonna see the game store across the street from my grandma's, all right? And there's a laundromat too, right here. Back in the day, I used to run around and play with my brother while my mom and my sister was folding clothes. Seriously, childhood memories with this shit. Childhood memories. And once I get home tomorrow to record and edit the video, I'll be able to upload it the same day, Tuesday, May 27. Again, you guys, today is Tuesday, May 27, in this shit. Justin's Manhattan Memorial Day weekend adventures. So here it is, you guys, the game store near my grandmother's house. The game store. You see this shit? I'm just surprised this never moved out or store rented. That ass. My childhood memories growing up with this shit. You guys, I just finished recording the game store. You see that game store over there closer to my grandmother's place across the street? I just finished with that shit. So now I'm going to the park in Fort Washington to do some more recording, and once I get there I finish and edit the entire video for my Memorial Day weekend. So I'm heading to the park in 173rd Fort Washington. It's closer to the highway, the Bridges Highway, to get to downtown New Jersey, which is my second hometown. So once I get to the park, I'll finish recording, all right, you guys? See you at the park. See you soon, my guys. Again, Justin's Manhattan Memorial Day weekend between May 25th and May 27th. See you guys at the park. I'm here. I'm finally here. Because this is where I'm going to finish recording. There's not that many people here because of school and work. So there's going to be plenty of people here in the afternoon. Like kids go to the park after school, right after they finish their homework. There's not that many people there right now, but they will be after school, like around 3 or 4 p.m. today. Oh, look, squirrels, everybody. Squirrels, natural habitat. Squirrels. All right, recording the rest of the park where I grew up. I used to play here a lot when I was a kid growing up with my mom, my sister, my brother, and my grandmother. My grandmother never went out too much because she was old back then in the 90s and in the early 2000s. My grandmother was old and sick. Now my mom is old and sick because right now my mom is a grandmother. Childhood memories with this shit. Childhood memories. Childhood memories with this shit. Childhood memories. Seriously. Childhood memories with this shit. Now we're gonna go to the bridge. The Bridges Highway. Upstairs. We're gonna go there now. A lot of kids drawing with chalk. This brings me back to my elementary school days. When it comes to recess or going to the park, a lot of kids use a lot of colorful chalk just to paint and do art. We're here, you guys, to go see the George Washington Bridges Highway. We're here. This is the park for Washington, West Side 174 Street, because this park is across the street from my grandmother's house where I used to live while I grew up. So yeah, we're gonna see the George Washington Bridges Highway from the view of the park. We're gonna go there right now, all right? This is the last day of my Memorial Day weekend adventures between May 24th through May 27th, because when it's tomorrow, May 28th, that's the day that I'm gonna go back home. I really miss my home, but we're actually gonna see my home from a further view. Yeah, this is my home. Watching it from a further view in this park, you can see my home. My George Washington Bridge across from my hometown, downtown New Jersey. So yeah. The George Washington Bridge all the way to downtown Fort Lee, New Jersey. I really miss my home, but after my Memorial Day weekend trip by going to Manhattan, I will go back home tomorrow. New York all the way to downtown New Jersey. The George Washington Bridges Highway. This is so freaking amazing. I just can't wait to go walk across the bridge tomorrow to go back home tomorrow. My Manhattan town to New Jersey town. All the way far away from home. But I will return back home tomorrow after my Manhattan Memorial Day weekend adventures. My first hometown grew up Manhattan, and my second hometown, you see it in the back of the highway. My second hometown, downtown Fort Lee, New Jersey. My ending of my Memorial Day weekend. Comment down my YouTube channel and let me know what you like in this video. I believe this video is going to be either half an hour or 1 hour long, because this is all about my Manhattan Memorial Day weekend adventures. So comment down my channel and let me know what was the best video you liked so far. I'm going to close out the video at the end of the day, because I'm still going to do more recording and photo shooting for my Manhattan Memorial Day adventures between May 25th and May 27th. I'll see you guys more in a little bit. Guys, just to close out the video, my Manhattan adventure experience from Memorial Day weekend was a success. I met a lot of family, friends, and a lot of good people in Manhattan, New York, from 42nd Street, from the Nintendo store to Rockefeller Center, all the way to my grandmother's house that I grew up once lived. So you guys, if you like this video, comment on my channel, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. This is my Memorial Day weekend adventures concluding end. I hope you guys enjoyed this Manhattan adventures with me, take you on a journey with me and everything. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you guys so much for watching my channel. Comment down my channel, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. This was my Memorial Day weekend in Manhattan where I grew up, and now I'll be able to return home tomorrow. Hit that like button, leave some comments, and hit or jam that subscribe button. So you guys, thank you guys so much for watching my videos, commenting on my channel, subscribing, and all the past for the past 10 years. I really appreciate it. See you guys next time.